Cedar Rapids, Iowa for the 2022 Division III Baseball Championship of a semifinal matchup here today. The 4-seeded Salisbury Seagulls and the 5th-seeded Wisconsin-Stevens Point Pointers. Scott Sudikoff and Bill Brophy back here with you this morning. And Bill, as we look at the bracket here, we see that yesterday, Wisconsin-Stevens Point, they stayed alive with a win over Marietta, knocking out the #1 team in the tournament. And then waiting later today, Eastern Connecticut State and LaGrange. But of course, Bill, Salisbury needs just one win today against Wisconsin-Stevens Point, while the Pointers need to pick up 2 victories to advance to the championship round.
And the survivors, yeah, exactly. They play tomorrow in a best 2 of 3 series that will determine the 2022 national champions. These guys have played before. Salisbury took an 8-2 victory over Stevens Point back on June 3rd. We've been here so long, I forget what day that
Friday.
was. I know, I'm just kidding. But no, Stevens Point has played every day in the tournament.
Right.
So they played this team. Casey Pickering making his second start of the tournament, showing how long it's been. This is his second start already. Pickering did not fare well against Catholic University. Gave up 4 runs and 4 hits in 2 innings of work with a walk and 2 strikeouts against Catholic. But he gets the ball here in a game they've got to have on the year. Pickering making his 11th start. He's appeared 13 times, 6-1 in the year with a 4.43 ERA. 65 innings pitched. This is coming into the tournament. He allowed 64 hits, 32 earned runs. He's walked 20, struck out 45. Opponents have hit 262 against Pickering, a sophomore from Naperville, Illinois.
It'll face off the top 3 of the order, at least here in the first inning for Salisbury. Cameron Hyder, Patrick Campbell, and Kavi Castor, the right fielder, second baseman, and center fielder, respectively. And the first pitch of the ball game is lined into left field, a base hit for Cameron Hyder. The Seagulls, of course, did not play yesterday. They got a full day off, and on the first pitch of the game here today, Hyder with a single into left field. He's now 5 for 11 this weekend in Cedar Rapids. The rest of the Salisbury lineup, you have Rice, Rahill, and Ferentz in the middle of the lineup, Cameron Adams and Waddell, and we'll see Mitchell Whitcamp on the mound for the Seagulls.
Castor's an All-American. He's the guy to watch. He's in the on-deck circle. Hyder sets the table, and he continues to do so with a leadoff single.
First pitch to Patrick Campbell is a fastball high as he was showing bunt, the second baseman for the Seagulls. Salisbury 38-10 on the year. The defending national champions have gone 2-0 in the weekend's action.
Troy Brohan's a former big leaguer. He showed he likes to play small ball, but they don't get the bunt down here.
Oh, Comer and Tom Zach almost messed that one up, but Tom Zach, the catcher, makes the catch. And that's the first out of the game.
Comer charging from third, got all the way in, but Tom Zach said the batter's box is right here. I'll take it. But nobody injured in that collision. But Campbell fails to get the sacrifice down. Now Castro hit with a runner on first.
Center fielder for the Seagulls. First team All-American. Takes the first pitch high and away.
He's a good athlete. Getting 428 coming into this tournament with 12 homers, 61 RBIs, and an OPS of 1,000.
He has gone 2 for 7 so far with 4 walks.
Pitchers have walked or pitched around him. Picked up a couple intentional walks the other day.
Rounds it back up the middle, off of Pickering, goes and gets it, has time, and gets Castor 1-3, but I think Pickering felt that one as he just bent over at the waist for a little bit. Now he's back up standing straight, and hopefully he'll be okay. That's the second out. Hyder moving up to second base.
Richter now coming out of the dugout to check on his pitcher, who's surrounded by teammates after taking that one in the leg. Training staff not coming out to check on Pickering, so I think he's going to stay in. But the umpire, Mike Griffin, making sure he's okay. Again, nobody from the training staff's come out there to check on Pickering's leg. Richter says, why don't you take a few warm-ups and see if you're all right.
Stephen Rice is the batter due for Salisbury. Rest of the defense for the Pointers, you have Bauman, Nelson, and Simmons left to right in the outfield. Comer at third.
Nelson's a real good center fielder.
Terrific, yeah. Matson at shortstop, Booz at second, Henwood at first, and Tomczak the catcher. The same lineup that the Pointers had in yesterday's 6-4 victory over Marietta.
Tomczak got to start the last 2 days. Kyle Finger was behind the plate on opening day.
So the Pickering making some warm-up tosses here.
He's proved everybody he's sound.
Well, he is ready to restart the action here.
The shortstop, number 6.
And Stephen Rice, the shortstop, will be coming up, sporting a .348 batting average with 6 homers and 44 RBI on the season. Leadoff single by Hyder. He's at second base with 2 down now. Strike 1 to Rice, who is 3 for 10 in the championship with a walk.
351 before that. Returning from last year's national championship team, a key component of that club, playing shortstop.
Pickering with the 0-1. It's hit in the air, but foul. Land in the red seated area. And it's 0-2. Dark, overcast start here today. Temperature-wise, just a bit under 70. Pickering looking to shut down this inning. The 0-2 pitch on the breaking pitch, hit in the air to right field. Simmons tracking back. Couple of steps on the back pedal, makes the catch to retire the side. So the leadoff single by Cameron Hyder, but Casey Pickering able to work around that after a half inning. Salisbury 0, Stevens Point coming up. Bottom of the first inning. And warming up for the Seagulls, their starting pitcher, Mitchell Whitcamp.
He's just a freshman. He gets the ball in a big situations. Whitcamp, 6'3", 170 pounds, out of Bel Air, Maryland. And this is only his 4th start. His 11th appearance. Whitcamp 1-1 with a 2.53 ERA. In 21 and a third innings, he's allowed 17 hits.
Yes. Look at Whitcamp, 6'3", 170 pounds. And so he'll face off with the Pointers lineup. Matt Bauman leading off, the left fielder Aaron Simmons batting second, the right fielder, and Peyton Nelson, the center fielder, will bat third. Up against Mitchell Whitcamp. And then Comer, Tomczak, Lutke in the middle.
First inning for the Pointers, the left fielder, number 5, Matt Bauman.
And Henwood, Booz, and Matson rounding out the starting 9 for the Pointers. Bauman, 306, a homer and 29 runs batted in on the season. And takes the first pitch fastball in the inside corner for strike 1 from Whitcamp. Bauman has 2 hits in 3 games here in Cedar Rapids, but has walked 5 times, 2 for 11. On the 0-1, and on the inside corner with a breaking pitch, and it's 0-2.
Reason it's Whitcamp in game 3 is all year Salisbury's been led by their 1-2 punch of Jimmy Atkins, who won on opening day with a complete game.
0-2. This pitch just a bit inside, similar to the previous offer.
And the second pitcher for Salisbury was Jackson Balzan, who was the MVP in this tournament last year. Balzan broke his hand and is not available this weekend.
Bauman gets a good piece of one on a 1-2, driving it to right field. Hyder, though, will be in front of the warning track and reel it in for the first out here in the bottom of the first.
Air is heavy this morning. There is no wind. Threat of rain, we have to tell you. But again, the air is heavy. That ball didn't carry to right, and Bauman just has a loud out to start the game.
Right fielder, number
So that'll bring up the right fielder, Aaron Simmons. He's 4 for 9 in the championships with 6 walks. His batting average on the year at .369 with 21 homers and 65 runs batted in.
think if you had to name an MVP of this tournament thus far, it would be either Simmons or McKinley Herbs of LaGrange. They put up big numbers.
Simmons in Friday's game against Salisbury was 1 for 4 with an RBI triple. The 1-0, up and away, 2 balls and no strikes to the Pointers right fielder.
Get a home run against Catholic University, 1 of 3 homers that allowed Stevens Point to rally and Pickering start and eliminate Catholic U 12-8.
2-0, he hits it well to right center field. They're on the race for it, and it is out of here. Below the scoreboard out in right center field, near the 390 marker, a little bit further to the left though. So probably about a 400-foot shot there by Aaron Simmons, and it's 1-0 Pointers.
He yanked the ball down the line for the home run on Saturday. That one shows he got power to the gaps and right, and Simmons once again is giving the Pointers an early lead.
Another look at the swing from Simmons. He got the bat head around on that very well, and you can see driving it out near the scoreboard. And it's 1-0 Wisconsin-Stevens Point. So a couple of well-hit balls off of Whitcamp. Bauman flying out to just shy of the warning track and straightaway right.
22nd home run of the year for Aaron Simmons.
And then Simmons with that home run.
That's among the best in the country in Division III.
Peyton Nelson having a very good championships in Cedar Rapids. He's 6 for 11 with 6 RBI. Big game yesterday. Drove in 2, was 3 for 3 in helping to eliminate Marietta.
He and the aforementioned Herbs of LaGrange, the leaders in this tournament, runs batted in was 6.
The 1-2 pitch from Mitchell Whitcamp. Chopper up the middle. The shortstop Rice cannot reach it. It's into center field. A base hit for Peyton Nelson, who's now 7 for 12.
And that's good protection for Simmons, the big bopper. Pretty good 1-2 punch at the top of the order. And then, oh, by the way, there's Bradley Comer, who's also hit a long home run in this tournament.
He was 0 for 3, as you can see. Nelson aboard at first base. Will be held on by the first baseman, Ray Hill. And Comer digging in. First pitch from Whitcamp. Comer in on the hands, a slow roller. The third baseman, Waddell, goes to second. It's a wild throw into right field. Nelson will go to third. So Comer will reach probably on a fielder's choice here.
I think it'll be a fielder's choice, and there on the third baseman is how it'll be scored. It's going to be a bang-bang play at third. Nelson, or second, Nelson runs well, but I think he would have been out. Troy Brohan, again, the former big league pitcher, going out to try to settle his freshman down, and this start has not gone as they anticipated. So Brohan just going out, tell him to take a deep breath. There's no activity in the bullpen for the Seagulls. You can see Brohan just saying, just relax. Again, this is an elimination game for Stevens Point. They have to win. Seagulls have some cushion here, and they have to win just one game against Point either today or they hope today. Again, the weather forecast after 1 o'clock is not promising in Cedar Rapids.
I mentioned Troy Brohan, 8th year as the Seagulls head coach. Terrific collegiate pitcher at the University of Nebraska. And then, of course, in the major leagues, where he appeared in over 80 games in his career.
Won a World Series ring with the Diamondbacks. Won a NCAA championship ring here last year. He and Scott Brocious, the former Yankee, the only people to ever accomplish that feat. Brocious won at Linfield, Oregon a few years back.
Anthony Tomczak, the batter, takes ball 1. You have Nelson at third, Comer at first. A home run, a single, and an error in the inning. And the Pointers looking for a few more here. The 1-0. 2-0 now to Tomczak, who has a .380 batting average with 4 homers and 25 RBI. See, the infield will play back here in the first inning. Because up the middle, of course, you can turn 2 and and this inning. This is a very good Salisbury defense, ranking tops in the country in terms of fielding percentage. Up over 980 fielding percentage as a team. They did make one error Friday against Stevens Point. Rio gets the fastball in at the knees, 3-1.
And now Brohan is going to start his bullpen. Didn't like the fact that the freshman pitcher fell behind on the count here.
Tom Zach 3 for 10 in the championships with a homer. He's driven in 5 runs.
His 3-run homer the other day got the Pointers back in the game against Catholic.
And there's ball 4. Good backhand stop by the catcher Ferentz to make sure that didn't get to the backstop. So the bases will be loaded for Lucas Ludke. And only 1 out here in the first inning, already 1-0 as you see the left-handed action. Xavier Marmol is warming up.
Marmol's been up in each of the preceding games. Well, I don't know if he was through much when Atkins threw the complete game, but he had a lot of bullpen activity the other day.
Lucas Ludke, the DH, 1 for 12 in Cedar Rapids. Checks his swing. He went around, says the home plate umpire Mike Griffin. You have Justin Sims at third, Donnie Smith at second, and Ron Black at first base. So the bases loaded here. Outfield playing straight away for Ludke, who has 14 homers and 59 RBI on the year. And fooled by that one, and it's 0-2. Foul tipped it into the mitt.
This guy's got some power. Hit 14 home runs on the season. Drove in 59, hit 380. Older guy. This is a team of older guys. Ludke started his college career at Minnesota Morris in 2017.
The 0-2 from Whitcamp. Just outside. Ludke kind of give it a quarter offer. Not enough to appeal.
Ludke has struggled here at Cedar Rapids, is 1 for 12.
Whitcamp kicks and fires the 1-2 pitch. It's high, 2-2. Wisconsin-Stevens Point beating Marietta yesterday, 6-4 in the elimination game.
They score in bunches.
Here's a called strike 3. Ludke was frozen by that one. First strikeout by Whitcamp, and a big one here, 2 down.
Ludke's troubles continue. You got to be swinging with this pitch. Then he takes it for strike 3.
Stevens Point had a come from behind against Catholic on Saturday, trailed 7-2 in the middle innings. Came back to win 12-8. That's a called strike to Quinn Henwood, the first baseman, who's hitting 3 for 12 in the championships. 250 overall with 3 homers and 30 RBI. Home run by Aaron Simmons. Nelson singled. Comer hit into a fielder's choice, but there was no out due to an error. A walk then loaded the bases before we just had the strikeout of Lucas Ludke.
Penford's 3 for 12 in the tournament.
The 1-1. Henwood the opposite way into right field. Hyder moving back, has it for the final out. So the Pointers will settle for the 1 run on the home run by Aaron Simmons. They leave them loaded. And after 1, it's Wisconsin-Stevens Point 1, Salisbury nothing here in Cedar Rapids. Scott Sudikoff and Bill Brophy back with you in Cedar Rapids. Yesterday, only got 2 of the 4 scheduled games in as storms moved in, and it was the right decision to get those games postponed early. It took about an hour and a half, but Once the storms hit last night at about 8:30, there's no way you were going to get any finished games in. So,
well, this game was supposed to be played at 5 o'clock yesterday. Right. At 5, they made the decision, after consulting with the coaches, I'm sure. You want to start the game, burn some pitching, sit around with a possible suspension. They looked at the forecast. It was not promising. Like Scott said, it didn't start raining till about 7:30. But so you could have got about 3-4 innings in. But they made the decision. Again, I'm sure they consulted with the coaches and the administrators at the respective schools and determined, let's play in the morning. So they backed this tournament up by two games.
Sky Rayhill goes after the first pitch, much like Cameron Hyder did to lead off the first inning, but Rayhill lines it out to center field, caught by Nelson for the first out here in the second.
But the forecast is not promising today. It rained quite a bit. The outfield has got to be soggy and damp. It is a clammy, humid morning. As Scott said, temperatures in the high 60s, around 70, but the forecast after 1 o'clock is not good, and that's about the time that LaGrange is supposed to face Connecticut or Eastern Connecticut State. And if either Stevens Point or LaGrange wins today, there was more baseball scheduled after that. So we could be here a while today, and we invite you to join us all day on NCAA.com.
The 0-1 to Ferentz is low. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Seagulls catcher. He's hitting .264, 2 home runs, 19 runs batted in, is 1 for 7 in the first 2 games. I guess I can't really call it the weekend anymore, but the wraparound weekend. The 1-1, a wave and a miss, and it's 1-2. Pickering working with a 1-0 lead after the Aaron Simmons home run in the first inning. Ferentz, sharp ground ball right to the shortstop, Matson. Plenty of time. And the first 2 batters have been retired here in the second.
Pickering looks a lot better today than he did against Catholic University on Saturday. Retired 5 in a row after the leadoff single by Hyder.
Against Catholic, just 2 innings, 4 runs on 4 hits with a walk and 2 strikeouts. Faces Scott Cameron now, the left fielder. First pitch curveball for strike 1. Cameron's hitting .204, 5 homers, 31 RBI, but he is 3 for 6 here in Cedar Rapids with a walk. Fouls it back, and it's 0-2, and Pickering looking for a very quick second inning here, which you always love to see if you're in that dugout, your pitcher come out after your team scores a run and get that shutdown inning. 0-2, and he gets him to swing and miss. The tag applied, and it is a 1-2-3 second inning for Casey Pickering as he earns his first strikeout of the outing. After an inning and a half, Pointers 1, Seagulls nothing in Cedar Rapids. I think they call that a dab, and then I don't know what.
That's the floss.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right.
And he's got it down well.
And he's a Stevens Point fan, so he has to be pretty happy so far. It's 1-0, the Pointers, after an Aaron Simmons first inning home run. And they will have 8-9-1 due up. Jacob Booz, Logan Matson, top of the order, Matt Bauman against Mitchell Whitcamp, who threw 25 pitches in the first inning, allowed a run on 2 hits. Hitting was extended a bit with an error. He also walked a man. Booz, the second baseman, takes the strike. .309 batting average, has 5 home runs on the year, and 30 runs batted in.
Again, rolling the dice here by going with Whitcamp, the freshman, who's only making his 4th start.
Ground ball up the first base line is foul. And it's 0-2.
And Atkins got the call on opening day and responded by winning. He's now 7-1. Without Jackson Balzan available, they turned to a guy who'd made some starts this year in game 2, and that was Benji Thalheimer. He went 4 innings and then got great relief help from Brandon Epstein and Brock Hilligus. Now, Marble's got the 3rd most starts, and I think some Salisbury fans may be surprised that he didn't get the ball. Marble's thrown 17 times or 10 times as a starter, has a complete game and a 5-0 record, but he didn't get the ball. You saw him throwing in the bullpen in the 1st inning, and I would think if there is a game 2, that's who will be the starter, Xavier Marble, assuming he doesn't have to come in at some point in this game.
Say either today to piggyback with Whitcamp early if necessary, but if they can hold him out for a potential, if necessary, game later today, that's high and away.
But I guess my broader point is the loss of Balzan, who again was the MVP in this tournament a year ago, is a significant blow to the Seagulls.
Count is full. DuBois leading off here in the 2nd inning for the Pointers. Already got top 1-0. Payoff pitch, and he ropes one out of the reach of the leaping second baseman Campbell. A leadoff single for Jacob Booz.
Booz has been a pesky bottom of the order hitter for the Pointers in this tournament. He had 2 hits yesterday against Marietta. 1 for 4 against Salisbury in the first tournament meeting of these squads.
An 8-2 win for Salisbury on Friday. Stevens Point only had 6 hits in that game.
That was the night Atkins pitched so well, or the morning Atkins pitched so well.
Pointers ended up with 12 hits yesterday against Marietta. First pitch ball 1 to Logan Matson, who was 5 for 12 in the first 3 games for the Pointers with 4 runs scored.
Pointers can flat out mash. I mean, they average 9 runs a game.
Top 20 in the country in slugging percentage. Fly ball, foul. It'll be 1-1 now.
In 10 postseason games coming into this tournament, they scored 131 runs. Again, they've faced some good pitching in Atkins, but have still scored 20 runs in 3 games here in Cedar Rapids.
Matson, a .311 hitter on the year. Runner at first, nobody out here in the bottom of the 2nd. They'll check first and back with the head first hand tag as Booz. Looks like Marmol is getting back up in the Salisbury bullpen.
He is indeed.
You can see him in the background there for a moment. 1-1, Matson, ground ball to 3rd. Nice backhand play by Waddell. Goes to 2nd for 1, on to 1st, not in time. Good play by Waddell. He's the one who made the error on the fielder's choice in the 1st inning. Ended up not leading to any extra runs, but this time takes a hit away from Matson and able to get the lead runner at 2nd base.
Tough chance there for the 3rd sacker, Waddell, and he redeems himself here. You take a look at it. They call it a hot corner for a reason. This is a smash down there. He backhands it and gets the lead runner.
So Matson aboard on the fielder's choice, and now Matt Bauman, who led off with a fly out to right field. Hit it fairly deep. A couple of steps in front of the warning track and straight away right, caught by Hyder. Bauman is now 2 for 12 in the championships. 1-0, chopper to the right side by the glove of the first baseman Rahill, diving onto the grass. Campbell able to knock it down, going to throw to 3rd, and then colliding Waddell with the runner Matson as he was coming out to grab the throw, and it gets by, and that'll allow Matson to come all the way to score. And so you're probably going to get a throwing error from Campbell on that throw to 3rd.
Well, here it is again, a seeing eye hit. Well, you don't see. The runners collide here as Waddell tries to get to Campbell's throw. Matson bounces back up and scores the 2nd run of the game. I think, as you said, we hit in an error. It's a seeing eye single. Matson, you can see in some pain as he goes to the dugout after that collision. Here comes Troy Brohan, and you might be saying goodbye to the freshman Mitchell Whitcamp.
Yep, that is going to be it for Whitcamp.
Bringing in the left-hander Marmol to face big, strong left-handed hitting Simmons.
So we'll step aside here as Marmol comes to the mound. It's 2-0 Stevens Point, threatening for more here in the 2nd.
batter is the right fielder number 1, Aaron Simmons.
Six-foot, 180-pound lefty from Clarksburg, Maryland.
Touched upon it a minute ago. He's been an integral part of this team. 5-0 with a 4.06 ERA.
Also moving up to second on that error was Bauman, so that's why he is at second base.
Marmol's in for the 17th time, 7 times out of the bullpen. Got a complete game in his 10 starts. Overall, 62 innings pitched, 61 hits, 28 earned runs allowed. Walked 13, struck out 42. Opponents have hit 254 against the lefty.
Simmons hit his 22nd home run in the first inning, a solo shot.
He just missed that one. Fouled it back.
Baines 0-2. He's 5 for 10 now in Cedar Rapids, and has also been walked 6 times, including saw him intentionally walked in yesterday's game against Marietta.
You don't see a broken bat much in. Oh, I guess he wants to work on the bat. Let's say, did he break the bat with a foul ball?
That'd be impressive. Take a look back an inning ago and see the Aaron Simmons home run to right center field, at least 400 feet, out to the middle of the scoreboard area between the 390 and 403 markers. Oh, see it land there just beyond the 390 marker. So I think my 400 feet at least is a pretty safe bet.
He's a strong guy, Aaron Sims. 5'9", 195 out of Franklin, Wisconsin, suburban Milwaukee.
They'll take a ball. I mentioned the intentional walk yesterday. It loaded the bases against Marietta in a big 7th inning. The game was tied at the time. And then Peyton Nelson came up with the bases loaded and had a 2-run single. So you talked about protection last inning. That's what's on deck here. Peyton Nelson, he's already singled today.
Well, again, before the game, before the series, I'm sure all the coaches signal a guy you don't want to let beat you. Simmons is the guy here for Point. Castor's the guy for Salisbury. And both their big sluggers have been pitched around constantly now in this 4th day of the tournament.
Simmons fouls off another pitch from Marmol. First batter that he is facing. He's going to have to throw at least 7 pitches. And a single by Booz to lead off the inning. He was wiped out on a fielder's choice. And Bauman a single. And a throwing error on the same play. He moved up to second and a run came around to score. The 2-2. And Simmons swings and misses. Look at Marmol drop down a little bit more on that pitch.
And the speed dropped down big time, too. He got him with an off-speed delivery. Maybe the arm angle fooled him, but I just think it's good pitching.
Center fielder number 25.
This is off-speed pitch in the dirt. Great pitch by Marmol. No way Simmons was going to hit that.
Second out of the inning. Here's Peyton Nelson. Now 7 for 12. Driven in 6 runs. Enjoying his time in Cedar Rapids. Takes low ball 1. Batting average now at .355. The run right now that scored. This is a check swing called strike. Still unearned for the time being.
Nelson trying to make it earned with a 2-out hit.
It's the starter, Mitchell Whitcamp, allowed 4 hits over an inning and a third. Back gets away to the backstop. That's a wild pitch. I have a scoring question. Does that make the run earned or still unearned?
It's up to the official score, which is always a subjective thing.
Say maybe he doesn't come home to score on that wild pitch in the third. Count is 2-1 to Nelson. High fly ball, shallow left center. The shortstop, Rice, going out. Castor in, and then diving is Cameron, the left fielder, but it's caught by the shortstop. Stephen Rice makes the catch. You had three players converging. Cameron diving, and Rice making the catch on the run. So the Pointers score a run here in the second, and after two full, it's 2-0 Wisconsin-Stevens Point. 2-0 Wisconsin-Stevens Point, a home run by Aaron Simmons in the first inning, and then they get a run in the second inning, helped out by an error. And so Casey Pickering will come to the mound after a 1-2-3 second inning. He's only had to throw 13 pitches over 2 innings. He's allowed a single, and that is it. Leadoff single by Cameron Hyder in the first inning. Adams, Waddell, and then Hyder, 8-9-1, due up for the Seagulls.
Point has not had that dominant starting pitching. J.D. Schultz would be their ace. He started game 1 with 5 innings in the 8-2 loss to Salisbury, but they don't have the guy that throws a lot of complete games. They feel they've got a deep bullpen. Sidney Ferry's been the guy to close. He's had an extended appearance, 6 1/3 innings in the elimination game against Catholic University. Was not available yesterday. Be interesting to see if he's available today. Since there is no tomorrow, if you lose first Point, you got to think we'll see Ferry at some point.
Adams, the DH here, only appearing in his 13th game of the season.
He's had a good tournament, though.
He's 2 for 4, a walk, and 3 RBI. 316 overall batting average, a homer, and 6 runs batted in. He's ahead of the count, 2-1. 8th place hitter for the Seagulls, team that averages over 9 runs a game, much like Wisconsin-Stevens Point. Both inside the top 20 in the country. 2-1 pitch. 2-2. 3-1.
Coming into this tournament, the committee seeded Salisbury 4th, Stevens Point 5th. That's when they met opening day, and again, Scott told you, Salisbury took an 8-2 win. Rallied from, that 3 in the 5th to make it 4-1. Going on with a fairly easy victory.
Leadoff walk issued by Pickering.
Third baseman, number 3.
Saturday's start against Catholic allowed 1 walk over 2 innings. So same number now, a walk over 2 innings and a batter. And 9th place hitter Luke Waddell comes up, the third baseman. 302 batting average for him. Does not have a home run. Does have 24 RBI. 3 for 7 in the first 2 games for the Seagulls. Joe's bunt takes it back. It's a called strike. The third baseman Comer was charging in.
Yeah, and Troy Brohan has showed he likes to bunt runners over. They have 58 sacrifice hits coming into the tournament. And they have shown the ability to get the ball down in this tournament.
Go to first. Diving back in. Adams.
They had 2 sacrifice bunts against Stevens Point opening day.
The 0-1 from Pickering. Bunt down, played by Comer. He looks to second, going to throw there and get the out at second base. Heads up play by Bradley Comer, charging hard. The bunt maybe hit a little too hard by Waddell, and there was time to cut down the runner at second base.
Gutsy play by Comer. He takes his time here, double clutches, and still gets Adams, who didn't get the good secondary lead.
Exactly what I was going to say. Adams sort of froze, did not get those extra couple of steps. If he does, Comer probably doesn't bother with that throw. Well, in the end for Salisbury, Ends up not being a backbreaker because Cameron Hyder, I think, just got hit in the back with the pitch, and it'll be first and second with one out.
Second baseman number 37, Patrick Campbell.
Actually, almost ends up as a better situation. Now we got 2 on with 1 out.
And the run producers in the lineup for the Gulls.
Patrick Campbell will come up here. Ball 1 to Campbell, who he tried to bunt in the first inning and popped it up. 5-10 feet up the third base line, and third baseman Comer made the catch.
Campbell drove in a couple runs against Point on Friday.
First and second with 1 out. 2 balls, no strikes to Campbell. And that was his only hit so far. 1 for 10. Casey Pickering. Damage of his own doing. A walk and a hit by pitch. Here's the 2-0. That's a call at the knees, 2-1. Wisconsin-Stevens Point, over the first 3 games they've played, they've made 3 errors. Defense and a couple of nice plays behind Pickering so far today. 2-1 delivery on the breaking pitch. A looper into shallow center. That'll be down for a hit. Being waved home is Waddell. He will score as the throw comes to the middle of the diamond. And it's 2-1 as the Seagulls cut the Pointers' lead in half.
Piece of hitting by Campbell to go up the middle. Nelson thought of throwing through to try to get a base runner and thought against it. Nelson's got a real good arm, but keeps the double play in order. Salisbury on the board on the third RBI of the tournament for Patrick Campbell.
23 on the season, and now Kavi Castor comes up with first and second, and 1 down. Hit a ball sharply back up the middle off of the pitcher Pickering, who was able to recover and make the play to first base. And going around on the swing, Castor, strike 1. Batting average at .420 for the center fielder. With 12 homers and 61 RBI, he's inside the top 25 in OBP, walks, slugging percentage, RBI. He's actually inside the top 10 for a couple of those categories.
Good size, strength, athleticism, he can run.
Fly ball slicing down the left field side. It'll be over the tarp into that picnic area.
You can see there's activity in the Stevens Point bullpen.
No balls and 2 strikes to count to Castor. Campbell at first after his RBI single. Hyder's at second. He was hit by a pitch. The inning began with a walk, followed by a fielder's choice, which was on a sacrifice chance, but the runner was cut down at second. The 0-2. 1-2 now.
Base pitch there. Nick Carpenter is throwing for the Pointers. Carpenter relieved Pickering against Catholic U and got roughed up a little bit by the first-time entrant into the tournament.
The left-hander for the Pointers. The 1-2. Castor behind it, swings and misses, strike 3. Second strikeout for Casey Pickering, and the second out here in the third.
Big strikeout for Pickering there. He muscled up, and Castor's mad at himself. Got a fastball and just plain missed it.
Looks maybe a bit surprised by that pitch selection on 1-2. Pulled that trigger late. Stephen Rice comes up with 2 outs. He flied out to right field his first time. High ball 1.
Point doesn't have a lot of strikeout guys. Pickering throws 2 different breaking balls, keeps hitters off balance.
And this pitching staff relies on not walking opponents. Top 10 of the country in walks per 9 innings as a staff, and top 30 in strikeout to walk ratio. Fly ball, shallow right center, caught by Nelson to retire the side, but the Seagulls do cut the lead in half on an RBI single by Patrick Campbell. And after 2.5 innings, it's the Pointers 2, the Seagulls 1.
Gain an inside look and behind-the-scenes access to your favorite Division III student-athletes, championships, and sports. Follow NCAA Division III on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for all your Division III updates, and join the conversation by using hashtag NCAAD3 and hashtag
One so far here in Cedar Rapids. A good look from the sky towards Veterans Memorial Stadium.
A cloudy sky, to be sure. And a 70% chance of rain after 3 o'clock this afternoon, so they hope to get this game in and love to get a good portion of Eastern Connecticut State against LaGrange.
Xavier Marmol, first pitch, ball 1 to Bradley Comer, leading off for the Pointers here in the bottom of the third. Salisbury getting on the board in the top of the third on a single by Patrick Campbell. A run on 1 hit. There was a walk in the inning and a hit batter. Comer fouls this one out of play, and it's 1-1 to the Stevens Point third baseman, who hit into a fielder's choice in the first inning.
Salisbury is unbeaten here in Pool A. They need to win 1 game against Point to get to the best of 3 series finale, which they hope starts tomorrow. Point has to win 2 times against Salisbury.
Hit into right field, going back on a bit of an angle there towards the warning track. Hyder reaches up to make the catch. So Comer a good piece. He lines it out to the right fielder for the first out here in the third.
This is the 7th year the NCAA has used this format to determine their national champion. It means you play the same team a lot. In reality, this turns into a best of 3 series between Salisbury and Stevens Point. Salisbury won on opening day 8-2. They didn't know for sure they were going to play again, but obviously they will here, and the Pointers would like to see them yet again later today.
1-0. 1-1.
Eastern Connecticut State is the unbeaten team in Pool B. They've already beat LaGrange once. They will see them later today, and again, LaGrange has to beat Eastern Connecticut twice to get to the finale.
Tom Zach, the batter here, walked his first time. Down to the count, 1-2. Working here in the home half of the third. Stevens Point, 42-9 record, school record in wins this year. They've made it to the championships for the 6th time. And chases that one well off the plate for the strikeout. It's the 2nd strikeout for Marmol since coming in, as he has now pitched an inning and a third. He's retired all 4 batters he's faced.
Looks a little more comfortable out there than the freshman Whitcamp, who started the game.
Lucas Ludke coming up, the DH, struck out looking against the starter Whitcamp back in the first inning. Tough matchup for a left-handed batter here with Marmol and his arm angle. Low ball 1-1.
And Point's got a lot of left-hand hitters.
2 outs here in the third. Chopped up the third base side, and as you can see, foul on the grass, and it's 1-2. Ludke, second team All-American, awaiting the 1-2 pitch from Xavier Marmol. Takes a close one. Catcher Ferens try to pull that back up to the bottom of the strike zone. It's 2-2. Called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Marmol. He has 3, and he's retired all 5 batters he's faced, giving some stability on the mound here for the Seagulls. After 3, it's Stevens Point 2, Salisbury 1. Checking out the stability of the yellow line, the homer line there on that 15-foot wall. Down the 315-foot marker in left field.
The first question is, why isn't that young man in school? And the second is, how did he get in that picnic area, which has been
Leading off the top of the
verboten
the first
for
baseman,
fans
number 30,
to
Sky Rahill.
Oh, yeah.
infiltrate over the first 3 days of the tournament.
And the third question is, where's the adult supervision? I guess we're all observing him, though. So.
Yeah. Our producer, Seamus, busted him. See if the...
He wants a home run ball. It's a good
Yeah.
spot if somebody can drive one out over the top of that wall. Sky Rahill leading off against Casey Pickering. Top of the fourth inning. Scott Sudikoff and Bill Brophy with you. Perfect game field, Veterans Memorial Stadium in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. The home of the Cedar Rapids Colonels. Minor league affiliate of the Minnesota Twins. 1-0 pitch to Rahill. Now 1-1. Rahill hit one sharply out to center field. That was caught by Nelson leading off back in the second inning. Pickering allowing a run on one hit, a walk and a hit batter in the third. That was after only facing 7 batters for the first 2. There's a ground ball up the middle by the diving backhand attempt of Booz and into center field. A leadoff single for Sky Rahill. Third hit for the Seagulls.
Second time the leadoff man has got aboard for the goals.
The catcher, number
Goes
28,
right up the middle.
Ferentz.
So Stevens Point, a run in each of the first 2 innings. Held a 2-0 advantage. Now Salisbury knocking on the door here to get both of those runs back as Jacob Ferentz comes up 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. He tries to bunt up the first base side, played by the pitcher Pickering. That's a tough throw. Looking at the back of the runner, Ferentz able to get it over there. Rahill up to second on the sacrifice bunt by Jacob Ferentz. It's the third time that the Seagulls have tried to bunt in this game, and the first time they've been successful on the sacrifice bunt.
Nice execution there by Pickering, the pitcher. Again, the analytics folks cringe, but at this level, you're forcing the defense, who aren't as proficient at playing defense as the big leaguers, to make plays. And Troy Brohan's obviously a big believer of small ball.
Scott Cameron taking ball 1. He struck out swinging into second. One of 2 strikeouts for Casey Pickering this morning. We got underway at 10 a.m. Central Time. Sun's trying to burn through a bit to the cloud cover. Here's the 1-0. 2-0 now. Rahill at second after his single, then sacrificed over by Ferentz. Top of the fourth. 2-1 Wisconsin-Stevens Point. Elimination game for the Pointers. Salisbury with a win in this game. They advance to tomorrow's championship round, which would be a best of 3. They, as currently scheduled, play 2 of the 3 tomorrow, and then if necessary, the third game on Wednesday. Base hit right field by Cameron. Into third base, Rahill. He'll be stopped. It'll be runners on the corners for the Seagulls, and 1 down here in the fourth.
Cameron laces this one to right. Simmons does a good job of getting the ball in. They don't even think about scoring a tying run from second. Brohan throws up the stop sign. Bullpen activity is resumed for Stevens Point after that line single to right.
That's still Nick Carpenter. We saw warming last inning. Salisbury University, the eastern shore of Maryland. East of Baltimore, of course. 30 miles off from the water there. First pitch is low to Adam, and I should know. I spent 4 years in and around that area.
And the champions of the Coast to Coast Athletic Conference beat Worcester 18-16 in the Super Regional last week to punch their ticket here.
Zach Adams, the batter here, he walked his first time. Runners on the corners with one out. A high chop to the right side. They'll only have one play. That's the first, so the run comes in. And the Seagulls tie it up 2-2 here in the fourth on an RBI ground out by Zach Adams.
Point plays the infield back. They conceded the run. It was Adams' job to put the ball in play. He did just that with a high bounder to second. Booz throws him out, but the tying run scores. Again, Matt Richter elects not to play the infield in, and Adams executes by putting the ball in play and tying the game.
So Adams talked about not seeing a ton of action this season, but now here this weekend he has 4 RBI. Luke Waddell, the batter. Hit into a fielder's choice. Well, actually, he bunted into a fielder's choice in the third, trying to sacrifice. He did, though, score on the Patrick Campbell single last inning.
Adams now has more RBIs in this tournament than he had coming into the tournament.
1-0 pitch to Waddell. Called a strike on the inside corner.
He's also had about as many starts, 3, as he had coming into the tournament, which was 4. So he's taking advantage playing on the big stage.
Waddell has 3 hits in 8 at-bats here in Cedar Rapids. Pickering will look Cameron back to second base. Not the only big baseball game for a team from Maryland today, as University of Maryland will play University of Connecticut tonight in a winner-take-all final game to go on to the Super Regionals. Ground ball to the right side, gobbled up by Booz, throws to first. That retires the side, but the Seagulls, after giving up runs in each of the first 2 innings, they now score 1 in the third and 1 here in the fourth. It's 2-2 after 3.5.
I just wanted to get good grades and
Leading off the bottom of the fourth inning for the Pointers, the first baseman, number 37, Quinn Henwood.
To the score as Xavier Marmol toes the rubber here, and Quinn Henwood will lead off for the Pointers. The Seagulls scored a run in the fourth on an RBI groundout by Zach Adams. Tying this ball game up, Xavier Marmol has retired all 5 batters he's faced in relief. Henwood flied out to right field his first time, hits a ground ball sharply up the middle. The shortstop Rice, not enough time to track that down. Leadoff single for Quinn Henwood. He's now 4 for 14 here in Cedar Rapids.
Second time Point gets the leadoff man on. First hit's allowed by Marmol.
Second baseman, number 22, Jacob
And
Booz.
I don't think you're going to see Point bunt. That Richter grudgingly did so yesterday. Matt Bauman put a bunt down, preceded a opportunity for Simmons and Nelson to come through.
Ball 1 to Jacob Booz, who singled in the second inning. Mitchell Whitcamp, the Salisbury starter, only went an inning and a third, 2 runs on 4 hits, a walk and a strikeout. As we just said about Marmol, they retired the first 5 batters he faced with 3 strikeouts before giving up the Henwood single. The 1-0. There's a strike on the inner half to Booz, 1-1.
He told you Salisbury's had over 60 sacrifices this year. Stevens Point's had 16. Matt Richter, not a big fan of the bunt.
Second-year head coach of the Pointers, a 2006 graduate of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. Booz into right center, charging on Hyder, dives and made the play. In front of the center fielder Castor, it's Hyder who makes the diving play to get the first out of the inning.
Hyder Shoney, pretty good defensive outfield. You talked about this guy's ability to catch the ball. Hyder shows it there. Castor's a good center fielder, and Hyder goes a long way. And the turf is wet, so the slide is more spectacular.
A little slip and slide action. Logan Matson comes up. Hit into a fielder's choice in the second inning. He then eventually scored on a throwing error by the second baseman Campbell on a single by Bauman.
Matson's had a good tournament. 5 for 13 now after the fielder's choice in the second.
He scored 5 runs.
Yeah, not bad production from the 9-hole hitter.
Count even. Henwood at first, 1 out. Bottom 4 in a 2-2 game. Matson, swing and a miss, 1-2.
Hogan's a sophomore from Neillsville, Wisconsin.
Next pitch. He hits it to shortstop. Rice will take it himself, tag the bag, go to first, double play. Stephen Rice taking the ball, tagging the bag, and throwing on to first base for the inning-ending double play. So the Salisbury defense does its job here in the 4th inning. And after 4, we're all tied at 2.
At athletic events around the country and ensuring that Division III student athletes have a rewarding experience. Through the program, Division III institutions will be assisted in providing exceptional levels of guest services that are consistent throughout the membership. To learn more about Game Day the DIII way, visit NCAA.
Scott Sudikoff, Bill Brophy back with you. And Wisconsin-Stevens Point goes to the bullpen here as left-hander Nick Carpenter checks into the game for the Pointers.
Carpenter coming into the tournament 3-1 with a 6.10 ERA. This is his 19th appearance, 15th out of the bullpen. He's got a save. 41 to 3rd innings coming into the tourney. He allowed 50 hits, 28 earned runs. Walked 10, struck out 23 opponents. It hit 299 against the lefty. Carpenter got whacked around the other day in his lone tournament appearance.
Basically the top of the Seagulls order. Against a first pitch strike to Cameron Hyder, who's 1 for 1 with a single and a hit by pitch today.
Carpenter pitched 2/3 of an inning against Catholic on Saturday. About 4 hits, 3 runs, none of them earned, but Catholic University jumped out to a 7-2 lead.
Off of the glove of the diving Comer, down the third base line and into left field. Heading for second base is Hyder. Here comes the throw, and the tag is just late. It's a double for Cameron Hyder as he drove it into the dirt in front of home plate, I believe, and hit this down the line. And tough play for Comer, who was playing in at third base against the lefty, and not a ton of reaction time to make that play.
Yeah, Hyder's a threat to bunt. He can wield the bat. He's a good leadoff hitter, fire starter for this club. Now 2 for 2 today. 6 for 12 in the tournament. That's his second double. And he's the go-ahead run potentially at second base.
Patrick Campbell comes up to bat. He's 1 for 2 and an RBI single in the 3rd. He's 2 for 11 now overall. And Carpenter looks back at the base runner Hyder. It's Carpenter in relief of Casey Pickering, who went the first 4. 2 runs on 4 hits, a walk, a hit batter, and he struck out 2.
Hyder's a nice player. He can play right field. He's a good defender.
Campbell, ground ball, backhand stab by Booz at second. Only play is to first. Moving up to third is Hyder. 1 out. And Kavi Castro will come up. The man at third.
Number 22, Kavi Kester.
Productive out by Campbell. Hits the ball to the right side of the infield, allowing Hyder, who runs well, to easily get to third.
Now Castor is grounded out to the pitcher and struck out swinging. And a shift deployed here by Stevens Point. They have 3 infielders on the right side. The shortstop Matson to the right side of second, as you can see, and then Booz and Henwood. So, and then also the center fielder Nelson a bit towards right, so a big gap on the left side of the infield and in left center field. 1-0. It's low. 2-0 to Castor. And situation here where might have the intentional walk of Kavi Castor.
Well, we've seen that in this tournament. I don't think this is a situation where you're going to do that. The infield's back. They're conceding a run. It's Castor's job again to put the ball in play.
There's a strike at the knees. Outer half of the plate.
I think if you were going to walk him, you would have put 4 fingers up before he got in the box. I think they're trying to go after him in this lefty-lefty matchup, and then you might see Byler, who's in the bullpen, come in to face Rice.
A double and a ground out. So runner at third, 1 out. 2-1 to Castor. Inside pitch, you try to get around on it, hit it foul. It's 2-2. Castor, 2 hits. For now, the 3 games for the Seagulls, 2 for 9. 4 times he has been walked. Go ahead and run at third here in the 5th. It was 2-0 Wisconsin-Stevens Point. Castor, this will get the go-ahead run in. That's the shortstop Matson who makes the play on the right side of second, and it's 3-2 Seagulls on an RBI ground out by Castor. So you look at the runs in this game. You got a single by Campbell, drove in a run in the 3rd, an RBI ground out by Adams in the 4th, and an RBI ground out by Castor here in the 5th. And the small ball is working thus far for Salisbury.
Well, they put the shift on. I guess it works. That's the shortstop making the play on the second base side to get Castor. But again, Nat Richter knows his team has been resilient and has comeback ability, and he was going to concede the run, played the infield back, gets the ground ball. Castor's retired and gets an RBI by bringing in Hyder.
There's Stephen Rice, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts, 1 to right and 1 to center. 1 ball and 1 strike to the Salisbury shortstop. Seagulls taking the lead for the first time today. Carpenter's 1-1. Rice lines it foul off the right side, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, this is Stevens Point modus operandi. They get 3-4 innings out of their starters, and they'll bring in relievers to pitch an inning or two to give different looks, different arm angles. And Byler's ready in the bullpen. He's now watching Carpenter pitch.
Just below the knees, 2-2.
They got 5 innings from J.D. Schultz on opening day in the loss to Salisbury. And Pickering pitched 2 innings, and Ferry is the key guy, pitching 6 in the 3rd innings of big-time relief in the comeback win against Catholic U. And yesterday, Kayla Kromenacher and Austin Syverson combined to beat Marietta.
Rice into right field, a base hit. A 2-out single for Stephen Rice. Just waited back on the slow curve.
First baseman number 30, Sky Rayhill.
He'll be at first base for Sky Rayhill, who is 1 for 2, singled and scored last inning. Carpenter delivering strike 1.
This guy doesn't throw hard. We don't have access to the radar guns here. The NCAA deems it unnecessary to inform the fans what pitchers are throwing, even if everybody wants to know.
0-1. Gets the corner at the knees. 0-2. So that's all the more reason in terms of Carpenter not throwing at high speeds to make sure he has the accuracy to hit his spots. 0-2 the count. Rice at first, 2 outs in the inning. And there's a sharply hit ball to shortstop. 8 up. Matson to second, not in time. He still had Booz, who was coming across to the bag as that throw arrived.
We might see a challenge here. Coaches get 2 challenges per game. At Richter, yeah, going to challenge this play. Matson bobbles, recovers. Is Booz there before the base runner?
No.
But we're going to go to the under the hood to find out. And the hood here is under the ballpark. So our first challenge of the game. It is a big moment in the game, so I don't think it's a bad challenge by Richter, but I don't think he's going to be happy with the result.
It looked like the foot was in, not only before the ball got there, but before Booz got the foot down.
So it'll either be 2 on with 2 out. That's the way the play has been called. Or the inning will be over. Here it is once again. Does Rice get there before Booz? Yeah, from that angle, it's real tough to tell.
I think the prior angle is our best look. And I think you can see, even if you pause it right before the ball gets to the glove, you see Rice, his foot sliding in, especially in slow-mo. There contacts the base. Look where the ball is.
A half second behind. So I think it'll be an error on the shortstop.
I could see them giving an infield single on that because of how hard the ball was hit, and then just not being able
Here's
to
the
make
decision
play.
for the umpires. He's safe.
And they have reaffirmed the call, safe at second. Rice is aboard. Rahill reaches. See what the official scoring decision is on
The catcher, number 28, Jacob
that
Ferris.
play. And no matter what it is, it's first and second, 2 outs for Jacob Ferentz, who's 0 for 1 with a ground out and a sacrifice bunt. Keep this inning going with 2 outs after scoring the go-ahead run on a ground out by Coffee Castor. Inning began with a double by Cameron Hyder. He shot it down the third base line by the diving Comer. Down the left field line, and plenty of speed to get to second base, even though it never got into the corner or even to the warning track area down in the left field corner. They scored as just a fielder's choice. No error on the play, but no hit either. 1-1. In the air to right field, slicing. This is going to be trouble. Slices well away from Simmons. This will score at least 1. Rice has scored. Rahill being waved home. Trying to go for 3. It's Ferentz. He'll slide in as the throw pops away. A 2-run triple for Jacob Ferentz. And the Seagulls have scored 3 here in the 5th, and they lead 5-2.
Ferentz had a big national tournament a year ago, and the Seagulls won the championship. He goes the other way. Down in the corner, Simmons has trouble getting to the ball and a long way to go. Ferentz runs pretty well for a catcher, as the cliche goes. Meanwhile, he drove in 2 runs as Rice scored easily. So did Rahill. It's going to be all for Carpenter. And the Seagulls have broken this one open with a big inning.
3 runs in the inning for the Seagulls. They lead 5-2. We'll come back with a new pitcher here in Cedar Rapids.
Now pitching for Stevens Point, number 23, Tyler Byer. The batter is the left fielder, number 30.
New pitcher for Wisconsin-Stevens Point is Tyler Byer, making his second appearance here in Cedar Rapids. Comes on with 2 outs, a runner at third, and the batter is Scott Cameron. The Seagulls have already scored 3 here in the inning.
Salisbury got to look at Byer the other day. He pitched an inning in 2/3, allowed 2 runs. Didn't allow a hit. and walked a batter. Coming into the tournament, he's 2-0 with a 5.87 ERA. This is his 18th appearance with a save.
Cameron's 1 for 2, a strikeout and a single. Facing a third different pitcher. Nope, second pitcher. He did not face Carpenter, of course. He faced Pickering the first 2 at-bats he had.
Byer, before the tournament, 23 innings, 31 hits, 15 earned runs. Walked 6, struck out 18. Opponents have hit 316 against him.
He'll ground out, Cameron will, to end the inning, but a big 3-run frame for the Seagulls, an RBI ground out by Castor, and then later on a 2-run triple by Jacob Ferentz, and it's 5-2 Salisbury. The city of Cedar Rapids, the host of the 2022 Division III Baseball Championships, will also be the host next season as well. Here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, Perfect Game Field, the home of the Cedar Rapids Colonels, Minnesota Twins affiliate. Salisbury plated 3 in the top of the 5th inning, capped off by a 2-run triple by Jacob Ferentz. So Stevens Point led 2-0 after 2, but Salisbury 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and 3 in the 5th. On the top of the order, Matt Bauman up against Xavier Marmol, who has been strong thus far. He's only allowed 1 hit in his 2 2/3 innings out of the bullpen. That was just his 33rd pitch so far. And the count will be 1-1 to Bauman, who's flied out to right and singled so far. 1 for 2 in this ball game. 3 for 13 overall with 5 walks in the championships.
Marmol will face a couple of left-handed hitters to start the 5th.
Aaron Simmons on deck, homered back in the 1st inning. In the air down the left field line, it'll slice out of play. Onto the berm. The count will be 2-2. Marmol, a senior from Clarksburg, Maryland, a Mount Airy Christian Academy. I've been to Mount Airy before. Chopper to the right side. Grabbed by Rahill. He'll tag the bag. Sure, everybody thrilled to learn that. Right, Bill?
Well,
I've been to Mount Airy. Yeah.
I've never been to Mount Airy, but
Nice country Maryland area.
Aaron Simmons.
Couple of friends from college from those neck of the woods, as you get at the State University of Maryland, University of.
Marmol and Rice, the shortstopper, both graduates of Mount Airy Christian Academy. This is Simmons, who's had a big tournament and hit a big bomb in the 1st.
It's one on a line, 1 hop to the shortstop Rice. Has plenty of time, rushed it a bit, but a throw low, but Rahill able to corral it. So 2 outs here in the 5th.
It's a second look for Simmons, and now Nelson at Marmol, who's been very good coming out of the bullpen.
So Nelson has singled and then hit a high pop-up into shallow left, in which the left fielder Cameron charged. Castor, the center fielder, was coming in as well, and it was Rice, the shortstop, running out between the 2 of them. Made the catch with his back half turned to the plate, and Cameron diving in front of him as well. 1-0 is called strike. Generous call there for Xavier Marmol. And it's 1-1. Wind up and the 1-1 pitch. High in the air. Back of shortstop, Rice backing up. Cameron, the left fielder, giving him some backup just in case, but Rice hauls it in, and it's a 1-2-3. Bottom of the 5th inning for Xavier Marmol, the shutdown inning after a 3-run 5th by the Seagulls. It's 5-2 Salisbury after 5.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be
be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love. All of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Division III student athletes are encouraged to discover themselves by pursuing their interests beyond the field of play, to develop into well-rounded individuals by participating in activities outside of the classroom, and to dedicate themselves to achieving their full potential in
To Salisbury, Scott Sudikoff and Bill Brophy back with you in Cedar Rapids. The Seagulls have taken control of this one after falling behind 2-0 after 2. 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 3 in the fifth. Tyler Byer faced one batter in the fifth inning to retire the side. Comes out to face 8, 9, and 1 in the Salisbury order here in the top half of the sixth inning. Zach Adams has walked and had a RBI ground out so far. Ball one from Byers, the third pitcher today for the Pointers. Pickering started. 2 runs, 4 hits over 4. A walk and 2 Ks. Carpenter started the fifth inning, but only retired 2. On a strike, gave up a leadoff double. Cameron Hyder moved to third on a ground out by Campbell and then scored on a ground out by Castor. With 2 outs and nobody on, the Seagulls restarted the rally. 1-1 is outside, 2-1. Rice singled. Rahill hit into what looked like a ground ball for the final out. Fielder's choice. Rice beat the throw to second. And then Jacob Ferentz with the 2-run triple. Bringing one now to Adams.
Byer on the mound out of Wisconsin Rapids. Our producer's famous writer will tell you all about Wisconsin Rapids. It's like you did about Mount Airy.
Well, I don't know all about Mount Airy. He probably knows more about Wisconsin Rapids than I know about Mount Airy. Foul back, and it's 3-2.
Seamus spent a summer in Wisconsin Rapids describing action from Witter Field.
Yes.
The Northwoods League.
Northwoods League, right. I applied for a job one time way back with the Rochester Honkers.
That is also on me.
Yes.
Northwoods League.
Ball 4 there on the check swing, the appeal. The swing, of course, as Adams takes the base.
Well, the Wisconsin Rapids right-hander.
the third baseman.
The walk to open the sixth.
Luke Waddell, the batter here.
We're going to see him bunt. He tried to unsuccessfully in the third inning.
Yeah, same situation. Adams walked.
Homer again in on the grass. Homer foiled that strategy in the third by getting the force out.
And we put a lot of the reason on it on Adams at first base, not getting a good secondary lead on the bunt. So maybe a little bit better one here. Get inside there on the bunt. Strike. As the Pointers bullpen starts to fire up again.
They need a 0 on the board. Jacob Meinholter is in the bullpen. We haven't seen Jacob in the tournament yet.
Waddell, no bunt this time. Runner was off.
A little hit and run.
The 0-2.
Brohan trying to get a runner in scoring position for Cam Hyder, who's at a big tournament. 2 for 2 today. But he's been one of the hotter hitters in the tournament.
0-2. Circles the outside corner. Doesn't hit it though. 1-2. Lead off walk to Adams. And the count 1-2 to Waddell. With Hyder on deck. Long pause by the pitcher Byer and chopped foul. The dugout first base side. Just looking at mine holes, warming up. Check first. And Adams back in. Our next scheduled game, Eastern Connecticut State and LaGrange. Eastern Connecticut State, the 2-0 team, just needs one win to move on to the championship round, while LaGrange will have to beat the Warriors twice. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Waddell.
Salisbury's in the same situation here. They're unbeaten. They only need to win this game to go to the best-of-3 series. Point needs to win this game and the next game against Salisbury to qualify to play for the national championship.
2-2 into left center. Nelson over to make the catch. He was shading that way to begin. Though did not have as long of a run to make. First out here in the 6th inning.
Right fielder number 19, Cam Hyder.
Now Hyder, who's awfully talented, handling the bat. Six for 16 in the tournament with 3 runs scored and 4 RBIs. He's going to be in the discussion for most outstanding player. It's premature to even start that. We got a ways to go.
That's called a strike. Hyder thought that was too far inside. Hyder, second toughest in the country to strike out.
Only 4 whiffs coming into the tournament. He's only had 2 home runs. One of them beat Worcester. It was a walk-off in an 18-16 win last weekend, or I guess the weekend before now.
Adams getting back to first base, stumbled a bit. Hyder singled in the first, hit by a pitch in the third, doubled and scored in the 5th.
A pesky leadoff hitter, not very big. I listened to what, 5'6"?
Yeah, 5'6", 155 from Laurel, Maryland. Timeout called before the pitch. So no pitch.
Ryder was a key member of last year's championship team.
A 1-1 the count. To Hyder. Now it's 0-2. Still only 1 out in the inning. A walk and a fly out thus far. Tyler Byer in his first full inning of work, or what he hopes will be a full inning. Final out in the 5th. Here's the 0-2. Does not chase. Pitch was nowhere near being enticing enough to swing at.
You know, that stat that Scott gave you, you know he's got a good eye. He isn't going to chase after a pitch like that.
1-2 on the breaking pitch, popped it up. Shallow center, shortstop Matson out. It's the center fielder Nelson who makes the catch for the 2nd out. So after the leadoff walk, Byer is battled back here. And Patrick Campbell will be the batter. Campbell popped out a bunt at an RBI single. That was in the 3rd. Rounded out to 2nd in the 5th inning, which was a productive play because it moved a runner from 2nd to 3rd with 1 out. And then Kavi Castor had an RBI ground out. Flies this one into right field. Simmons went back a few, now over to his left, reaches up, makes the catch, retires the side. The leadoff walk by Byer, but Zach Adams is left stranded on base. We played 5.5. Salisbury 5, Wisconsin-Stevens Point 2.
Leading off the bottom of the 6th, third baseman number 7, Bradley Comer.
Bradley Comer will lead off for Wisconsin-Stevens Point against Xavier Marmol, who has thrown 3 2/3 innings relief. He's allowed just one base runner, one hit. Ball one thrown to Comer. It was hit into a fielder's choice and hit one sharply out to right field. That was caught by the right fielder Hyder. Chops this one to his dugout on the third base side. It'll be 1-1. And Marmol has thrown 43 pitches, 28 for strikes. Coming in, we get the final 2 outs of the second. It's been strong since. Comer down the left field line, hooking into the corner and foul. Ball and 2 strikes now to the Pointers' third baseman. Stevens Point got a run in the first on a home run by Aaron Simmons. Got a run in the second on a couple of hits and an error for the shortstop Rice. And Comer retired 6-3 to begin the 6th.
Rice pretty smooth out there at short. Effortlessly throws out Comer to start the 6th.
Coming into play here in Cedar Rapids, Rice had only made 4 errors with a .983 fielding percentage. And I mentioned Salisbury, the top fielding team percentage-wise in the nation. Did make a couple of errors earlier on in this game. Neither one officially led to an unearned run. I'd say the error in the second inning, though, kind of compounded the issue, and the way things worked out, it was still an earned run, but you never know how everything would be different, though.
These guys played the game right, though. Rice is the anchor in the infield last year when they won. Castor's as good a defensive outfielder as you'll see in Division III. Covers a lot of ground. Hyder does a nice job in right field.
Anthony Tomczak trying to get aboard here. Ahead of the count, 3-1. He's walked and struck out today. Struck out against Marmol. And he hits it pretty well, but right at the left fielder, Cameron takes about a step and a half back to make the catch.
Counting the double play. That's 8 in a row retired by Marmol after allowing his only base run.
Right, he's in terms of coming in relief, he has faced the minimum batters because of that double play after the single in the 4th inning. Looking for his third 1-2-3 clean inning. He'll come off the mound, try to get to it, won't be able to. Now he tries to cover and gets the flip from Rahill late. And Salisbury immediately, the universal signal now for challenging a play, holding the headphones to your ears.
Well, I think the first base umpire is the only guy that thought he was out. I mean, Marmol does a nice job getting over there and beats him to the bag.
Oh,
I think clearly.
I think you're right. I think this inning should be over.
Again, Marmol makes a nice play. Ball gets past the pitcher, but instead of worrying about it, he gets over and covers the bag, takes the flip from Rahill, and this inning's over.
So they will go in and look at this.
But boy, that's a minority opinion by the first base umpire. And that's why we have replay, I guess.
What did I do yesterday? Of course, I said I was so confident that they would challenge a play and then overturn it that I wrote it in my book. And then it turned out that they didn't elect to even challenge the play. So I had ruined my scorebook.
Well, we
have
break.
this time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's thank our great crew here that's been here this whole time in Cedar Rapids. Got Clayton, one of our camera operators. Got Michael, who's under the umbrella. Can't see his face, but he's there. That's up on the upper deck area beyond the first base dugout. Eric. There he is, yeah, couldn't see him. That's out in center field, right? That's our center field cam. No, oh, that's above us. Okay, that's center field. Kevin out there in, that's a unique way to set up a camera. Not quite a scissor lift, but that's a shipping container. Yeah, normally you have a scissor lift for that type of situation, but how about a shipping container out in left center?
Those guys sit through like mailmen through rain and sleet and snow and warm days. Replay has told the umpire that the runner's out at first.
Here's the signal. And they made the right call on the overturn there. So Lucas Lundke is out. 3-1. 0-1, 2-3, 6th inning for Xavier Marmol. It's 5-2 Salisbury. Seventh inning, Division III baseball championships. This is day 4. Although it's games that are meant to be played on day 3. These quote-unquote semi-final matchups. Stevens Point needs to beat Salisbury twice. Salisbury needs 1 win today. They'll move on to the championship. And then Eastern Connecticut also in the spot like Salisbury later, where they need 1 win over LaGrange. And LaGrange need to knock off the Warriors twice today to move on to tomorrow's championship round as Kavi Castor takes ball 1 from Tyler Byer to begin things here in the 7th.
Castor, the All-American, has been quiet today.
Did have an RBI on a ground out in the 5th inning. 0 for 3. Makes a big cut there, and it's 1-1.
He sees the shift again with 3 infielders on the second base side.
There's a look at it. Ball and a strike to Castor. It'll be followed by Rice and Rayhill. The 6th inning, the only inning where neither team scored. Stevens Point, a run in the 1st and the 2nd. And then Salisbury, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th. 2-1 from Byer. Castor swings and misses. His eyes lit up a bit on that breaking ball. It did drop down, though, into better hitting zone for him. 0-2. Castor fouls it off.
And in his kitchen there, and he's forced to foul it back.
Salisbury, the defending national champions, try to be the first team to go back-to-back since Marietta did it, 2011, 2012.
They're trying to, they've already accomplished what Montclair did in 2000 and 2001 to win the last 7 straight playoff games in the NCAA tournament.
That's outside for ball 3, the count full. So look at the Salisbury dugout. They're hoping this is the only game they have to play today, and then they go back and have a nice long day off. And they didn't play yesterday either, so really a chance that they can get some good rest in, especially for the arms that they've had to use. Count remains 3-2 after the foul ball.
It will be interesting to see if they bring Jimmy Adkins back on short rest tomorrow. Adkins, the D3 pitcher of the year.
They would play 2 games tomorrow of the championship, and then the, if necessary, game on Wednesday. 3-2 pitch, went off the side of the mound, takes a big hop there. That's the shortstop, Matson.
Perfectly played.
Yeah, both in the last 2 innings. Matson has been shifted over. The ball's been hit right to him.
Shortstop number 6, Stephen Rice.
Leadoff man retired here in the 7th. Bring up Stephen Rice.
Well, Salisbury won all 5 of its games in the NCAA tournament last year en route to winning their championship. They're 2-0 obviously here this year. A lot of guys in that dugout don't know what it's like to lose on this stage.
Rice is 1 for 3, a single and a run scored. Chops it to the left side. Nice pickup by the third baseman, Comer. Retires Rice 5-3. So Comer makes some nice plays there at third base for the last couple of days.
First baseman number 30, Sky Rayhill.
Like a tough in-between hop for him. Kept the glove down. And Sky Rahill comes up with 2 outs and nobody on. He is lined out to center, singled and scored in the 4th, reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the 5th on the 2-run triple by Jacob Ferentz. Pushed this advantage out to 3 runs for the Seagulls.
Rahill, one of the leaders of this team. He a key component of last year's Seagulls squad. Got a good eye at the plate. He's got more walks than strikeouts. You don't see that often.
He is 2 for 10 in the 3 games for Salisbury. Has a run driven in and a walk.
Scored a pair of runs today.
And down to the count 1-2. So Tyler Byer trying to put up back-to-back zeros, keeping his offense within striking distance. We saw Stevens Point, they scored 6 runs on 12 hits yesterday against Marietta. Today they have 5 hits. This will be out of play. Xavier Marmol, the big reason why the Pointers today have been limited, once he came in with 1 out in the 2nd and a run had already scored. Got the final 2 in order, and since then has only allowed 1 base runner on a single. Outside 2-2, and he'll be back on the mound in the bottom of the 7th as the bullpen is quiet and makes perfect sense. Of course, he's thrown 51 pitches, 33 for strikes. As you look at Tyler Byer for the Pointers. Gets him to swing and miss. Strikes out Rahill. It's a 1-2-3. 7th inning for Tyler Byer. Stretch time in Cedar Rapids. Stevens Point down to their final 9 outs. They trail by 3 as we head to the home half of the 7th. Veterans Memorial Stadium in Cedar Rapids, the site of the 2022 Division III Baseball Championship. And Salisbury on top of Stevens Point, 5-2 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Elimination on the line here for the Pointers, but their fans are still loose and having fun here. They've got 9 outs to make up 3 runs right now. Well, Salisbury.
And those fans have seen Point rally often this year in the late innings. They've been a resilient bunch, but it's getting late.
20 comeback wins this year for Stevens Point. They will need a 21st to extend their season. Quinn Henwood leads off. They have yet to solve Xavier Marmol except for Henwood's single that led off the 4th inning. He's the only base runner the Pointers have had over 4 2/3 against the lefty. Taking strike 1 is Henwood. He's 1 for 2 in this game, 4 for 14 in 4 games for the Pointers here in Cedar Rapids. Fouled off, and it's 1-2.
Marmol pitched from in front. Again, he just pounded the zone. About 2/3 of his pitches have been for strikes.
55 pitches, 36 for strikes. Here comes the 1-2. Henwood, ground ball, base hit. Through the hole on the left side, Henwood's 2nd hit.
He's the only one to have success against Marmol. Both the hits Marmol has given up have been to Henwood. They've both been leadoff hits.
Second baseman number 22, Jacob Booz.
Jacob Booz comes up, singled off the starter Whitcamp in the 2nd, flied out to right field against Marmol in the 4th.
Because of their track record of comeback wins, there's a confident bunch still in the dugout. They think they can once again come back just another day at the office for the Pointers. They got to figure out a way to solve Marmol, though, somebody besides Henwood.
Looks like action in the Salisbury bullpen is about to begin, as the count is 0-1 to Booz. And now 0-2. There's the pen.
He hasn't thrown a pitch yet.
It's Adam. That was number 12. No, number 17.
That's Brandon Epstein, who pitched so well Saturday. Between the 3rd innings of scoreless relief.
0-2 up and in. Backing out of the way was Booz. Logan Matson is on deck. And on the top of the order for Stevens Point. The hit they just had by Henwood. It's their 6th of the game.
Double barrel action in the bullpen. Both Epstein and Brock Hilges, who also closed out the win over Marietta, are throwing.
And Booz taking strike 3. He saw 4 pitches in that at bat and did not swing. Down on strikes.
Shortstop number 4, Logan Matson.
4th strikeout for Marwol. And yeah, Booz has got to be up there hacking.
Logan Matson comes up, hit into a double play to end the 4th inning. And chops it off himself. It'll be 0-1. One down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Leadoff man reaching. Henwood the single. Marmol's pitch. Chopped to third. Picked up by Waddell. He plays it to second. And a 5-4-3 twin killing for the Salisbury infield to end the 7th. And keep it right there at a 3-run difference. Salisbury 5, Wisconsin-Stevens Point 2 after 7 full innings in Cedar Rapids.
A strand designed to connect, strengthen, and unite. But we face different challenges and have different opportunities. By acknowledging that others may struggle in ways we do not,
Scott Sudikoff, Bill Brophy with you. We're heading to the top of the 8th inning. And, well, neither team has been able to score over the last 2 innings, so this score has stayed at 5-2 since the 5th inning. Xavier Marmol has been the MVP for the Seagulls on the mound, as he has pitched 5 2/3, allowing just 2 singles, and both times the base runner wiped out by a double play that ended the 4th inning and ended the 7th inning. Tyler.
This fella, Jacob Ferentz, had a big hit, too.
Yeah.
Don't forget about him. That was a 2-run triple that emptied the bases and gave Salisbury a comfortable lead.
And that was after the Seagulls had taken a 3-2 lead in the 5th inning. The bases were empty with 2 down. Rice singled. Rahill reached on a fielder's choice as Rice beat the throw to second. And then Ferentz with that 2-run triple. Thinking about a solo home run there. Swings and misses, and it's 1-2. Tyler Byers, been good in relief. He's gone 2 1/3. He's only allowed a walk with 1 strikeout. And how about 2 strikeouts? Getting Ferentz looking to begin the 8th.
Left fielder number 32, Scott Cameron.
So nobody will be aboard, and Scott Cameron comes up. 1 for 3, a strikeout, a single, and a ground out. It's the first batter that Byer faced in the 5th inning, the only batter he faced in the 5th inning, and grounded out to second base. This will be off of stands. No balls and a strike to Cameron. Byer the pitch. It's high. They play Cameron to go the other way. Center fielder Nelson shading him to left center. See him getting into position right now. So a nice size gap in right center. The 1-1 swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, Byer has done his part. Going up zeros, trying to get his team back in the dugout to score some runs and generate yet another comeback.
Byer strikes him out looking. Outside corner with the breaking ball. 3 consecutive strikeouts for Byer now, and there's 2 outs in the 8th.
Designated hitter number 27,
I don't
Zach
think
Adams.
Cameron was crazy about this call, but I think he hit the corner with the curveball or slider. And eight in a row retired by the right-hander from Wisconsin-Rapids.
He's retired 9 of the 10 batters he's faced. He's only allowed a walk. Swing and a miss by Adams. Adams the one who walked in the 6th. Top of the order for the Pointers in the bottom of the 8th inning. And so
yeah, the big boys get a swing at Marbowl.
The rally is to come. It might be the best chance in the bottom of the 8th inning. As we keep saying, though, Tyler Byer doing his part. Ahead of the count, 0-2, trying to strike out the side. Byer set. Delivery to Adams. Swings and misses. Strikes out the side. Tyler Byer does. Strikes out 4 in a row. It sends this one to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Seagulls still in control right now. It's 5-2 Salisbury. We'll see if Stevens Point can start the rally when we come back.
Expect seats for the support of NCAA championships. Their contributions help enhance the educational and athletic experiences of nearly.
Bottom 8, 5-2 Salisbury. Tyler Byer, Stevens Point reliever, has put up 3 zeros over the last 3 innings. Xavier Marmol, though, has put up 0 since the 3rd. He's only allowed 2 base runners, 2 singles. They've both been wiped out on double plays. Top of the Pointers lineup here in the 8th inning. Matt Bauman taking ball 1. Bauman, Simmons, and Nelson Dew. So it's been the relievers that have really kept their teams on the Wisconsin-Stevens Point side. Byer keeping the Pointers in it. And from Marmol for Salisbury, just maintaining this 3-run advantage.
It's 2 left-handers to start the 8th.
Bauman, ground ball, charging Campbell at second. First out of the 8th.
He's had his sinker working. That's 10 ground ball outs. Marmol is induced. And Simmons here will bat with no one on base.
Do the least amount of damage that way. Had a solo home run in the 1st inning. Struck out against Marmol in the 2nd. Grounded out to shortstop in the 5th. Mitchell Whitcamp, the starter, went an inning and a 1/3. 2 runs on 4 hits with a walk and a K before Marmol came on. Ball 1 low to Simmons. This is his 22nd home run. Now has 66 RBI. A 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0.
Simmons, good-looking hitter.
Built a bit like a running back. Good power, chopper to the right side, sliding on the grass. Campbell covering Marmol, dropped the ball, could not handle it cleanly. Good effort, Campbell sliding into the outfield grass. Marmol hustling over. That's a tough play for any pitcher to make, to be on the run like that, find the base to step on it, and still have your eye on the ball to make the catch.
He made the play in the 6th to end that inning. Here, again, he's there. He just drops the ball on the throw from Campbell. Simmons reaches on the infield hit.
See if that ignites things here for the Pointers. Peyton Nelson comes up. He's 1 for 3 with a single. It is 2 at-bats, though, against Marmol. He's popped out to the shortstop Rice both times. He hits one high in the air to left field, making a bid for the wall out there, but it's caught on the warning track by Cameron.
Earlier in the tournament, that's a home run when the wind was blowing right to left. No wind today. Nelson gives it a ride to the shortest part of the ballpark, but it comes up just short. Cameron makes the catch, breaking some hearts in Stevens Point.
Hitting it 310 feet. Peyton Nelson did for the 2nd out.
I thought off the bat that was out of here.
I'm with you. Bradley Comer comes up. He's 0 for 3.
The air is heavy again today, but after the rain and with the onset of rain, it is humid, and again, the ball just didn't carry, and there's no wind. But again, earlier in the tournament, that's a home run, I think.
Comer with the swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Simmons at first with 2 down here in the 8th. Salisbury trying to eliminate Stevens Point right here, right now, at least in 4 more outs. Slow roller up the third base line. It'll kick foul.
No activity for Salisbury in the bullpen.
The same could be said for Wisconsin-Stevens Point. Tyler Byer has retired 9 in a row.
A different situation. Salisbury with the lead. A little surprised they don't have somebody else. Marmol has a complete game as his starter this year. He showed no signs he's getting tired out there.
This will be his 72nd pitch in relief. Comer fooled. Swings and misses for the strikeout. The 5th for Marmol. Works around the 1-out single and sends this game to the 9th with the Seagulls on top of the Pointers. It's 5-2 in Cedar Rapids. I'm told that's, what is that, Bill?
The grain elevator.
Grain elevator.
Indeed. And
Yeah, they don't have those
the
around.
drone shoots through the grain elevator, coming upon perfect game field here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. This is been open since 2002. The American Rivers Conference is our host here. They've done a nice job of taking care of us. More importantly, the student athletes and the coaches and the fans that have visited Cedar Rapids, which is the 2nd biggest city in Iowa, behind Des Moines.
Luke Waddell will lead off against Tyler Byer. Has been terrific out of the bullpen for Wisconsin-Stevens Point. He's made sure to keep Salisbury at 5 since he's come on. Waddell is 0 for 3, has scored a run when he reached on a fielder's choice. Byer has gone 3 1/3. He's allowed just a walk with 4 strikeouts. On the other side, Xavier Marmol has been
Lights out.
He's also put up the zeros. Marmol has gone 6 innings. Should be 6 2/3 innings. As this is in the air to center. Right to Nelson. And Waddell retired.
Right fielder number 19.
Both LaGrange and East Connecticut State are in the building. They will go at it an hour after the conclusion of this game. Eastern Connecticut State, the unbeaten team out of Pool B. They win 1 game. They play for the Division III championship beginning in the best-of-3 series tomorrow.
Heiner lines out to the second baseman, Booz. And Tyler Byer is trying to quickly wrap up this top of the 9th inning. It's the Eastern Connecticut State Warriors, as you can see.
They're 46-3. And
they're getting loose with hacky sack. Did you ever do that growing up?
I personally didn't. I've certainly seen enough athletes get loose by doing that in lots of sports.
I don't have enough foot-eye coordination to do that. Patrick Campbell here with 2 down. Tyler Byer looking to finish off a terrific outing today. That may not result in his team winning, but
he's giving him a chance to come back.
He should be able to sleep well tonight no matter what. Knowing what he was able to do today. Ground ball, second baseman Booz ranging over, throws on to first, and Byer finishes off another 0 on the scoreboard. 3 consecutive 1-2-3 innings. Retires 12 straight. Last chance for the Pointers, down by 3. Xavier Marmol will try to finish things off on the mound for Salisbury here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Tom Zach Ludke and Henwood do for the Pointers. Marmol has gone 6 2/3 scoreless. He's allowed a pair of singles that have both been wiped out on double. Well, he's allowed 3 singles now. No walks and 5 strikeouts. He's faced 1 batter over the minimum in his time since entering the game.
He also reduced 9 groundouts during his impressive 6 2/3 inning stint,
which 2 led to double plays. Tomczak is 0 for 2. He walked back in the first inning against Marmol. He struck out and flied out to left. He hits one into left center field. That'll be down for a hit. Castro will cut it off. Leadoff single for Anthony Tomczak. And again, he had 2 men up in the bullpen right now for Salisbury.
Same pair we saw against Marietta earlier in the week, Brandon Epstein and Brock Hilligus. They were up earlier in this game as well. Point says we're not going away. We've done this before. They get the leadoff man on here in the 9th.
Ludke is 0 for 3 today. He's 1 for 15 since coming to Cedar Rapids. Blown away. He struck out looking against Marmol in the 3rd, and then grounded out to first base back in the 6th inning on that nice play where the pitcher Marmol had to cover. Strike 1, 1-1 now.
Ludke had 3 of his 14 home runs against Whitewater in the Super Regional. His first career 3 home run game. Driven in 59 on the year, but he's had a tough time in this tournament.
That's strike 2, 1-2. He's seen a heavy dose of those pitches sinking low and away from him, coming from an angle where maybe that pitch looks like it's starting behind him, and then
that breaking off-speed breaking ball certainly tied him up.
Let's see what happens here on the 1-2. Ludke popped it up. Shallow left towards the line. The shortstop Rice and the left fielder Cameron. Once again slides out of the way, and Rice made the catch.
What a great play by the shortstop, going full speed down the line. My goodness, he was running as fast as he could with the knowing that he had Cameron coming in. He goes a long way for this ball, and if he didn't get it, I don't think Cameron's going to. Nice play by Stephen Rice, excuse me.
Sidney Rice is a wide receiver for the Vikings?
Correct. But Stephen Rice just made a great play. And
there's a strike to Quinn Henwood, who is 2 of the 4 hits now off of Marmol. Singled both in the 4th and the 7th. Would love another one here. Get the tying run to the plate. The 0-1 from Marmol. At the knees, and that's been consistently called a strike. Might be a slightly below the knees, maybe a ball from some other umpires, but Mike Griffin has been calling that a strike. It's 0-2. Marmol delivers. Too far outside, 1-2. Salisbury 2 outs away, giving themselves an even better chance to repeat as national champions. Came in as the 4 seed, trying to go to 3-0 and advance to the best-of-3 championship round. The 1-2 to Hentwood. Called a strike 3 once again at the knees, that same location. And the Stevens Point batters have not adjusted. And that is a 6th strikeout for Marmol. And there's 2 outs here in the 9th.
Second baseman number 22, Jacob.
There it is again. Certainly a pitcher's pitch, but you got to be swinging up there in the 9th inning.
Last chance for the Pointers, Jacob Booz, and he needs to get on base just to get the tying run up with Logan Matson on deck. Xavier Marmol, terrific out of the bullpen. 7 1/3, 4 singles, not a single run, hasn't walked a man. He's now struck out 6.
Salisbury looking to win their 8th straight game in the NCAA tournament in the last 2 years. They are unbeaten in the last 2 NCAA College World Series Division III level.
That's lined down the left field line and foul. Now it's down to 1 more strike here. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tomczak at first base. The Seagulls a strike away. Moving back to the championship round. Xavier Marmol. Lights out for the Seagulls. Outside, 1-2.
Who's trying to keep the winningest season in Stevens Point history alive?
42-9, the Pointers. They've had 20 come from behind wins. The 1-2 pitch, and Marmol gets him to swing and miss, and he is pumped up. His Seagulls will go back to the championship round as Marmol goes 7 2/3 scoreless. He allows 4 singles scattered around, strikes out 7 with no walks, and the Seagulls go to 3-0 here in Cedar Rapids, 39-10 overall. And wave the flag if you're a Salisbury fan. You've got now a chance. You already had the chance, but now you got to win 2 out of the next 3, and you are once again the national champions.
Quite a performance by Marmol, my goodness. In a tournament where we've talked a lot about hitting, finally a big-time pitching performance by Marmol, who came out of the bullpen and stifled one of the hottest hitting teams here. Big hit by Jacob Ferentz, a 2-run triple in a 3-run 5th inning, which allowed Salisbury to grab the lead for the first time, and Marmol did the rest, shutting down the Stevens Point bat effortlessly, getting ground ball outs, mixing them in with strikeouts. The Gulls will play for the national championship again in the final series.
We'll see if it's LaGrange or Eastern Connecticut State as they come up next. LaGrange needs to win twice, while Eastern Connecticut State needs just 1 win. For Bill Brophy, I'm Scott Sudikoff saying so long for now from Cedar Rapids. Congratulations to the Seagulls advancing to the national championship round.
We'd like to recognize the Stevens Point Pointers for an excellent baseball season. The first pitch for our next game between the Eastern Connecticut State Warriors and the LaGrange Panthers will be at 1:15